That means teammates won now. I'm a freaking beast. I'm a beast.
Get him.
Uh-oh.
I had a bad vault kick. Or sweep. Oh, you got this. Oh my god, he's just falling for everything. It's Jover. Oh, good shit, dude. Damn, you just stayed right on him. That's got to be annoying. That's over. Good shit, dude. Very nice.
Hello gamers, it's Nyce. I hope all you great sword enthusiasts are having a nice day. Today I'm excited to bring you my Serenity Greatsword, Sword and Shield build for New World. This will be a heavy armor build that provides a lot of speed, a lot of tankiness, and a lot of offensive burst. I really hope you guys enjoyed the opening clip, and there will be more clips showcasing the build in detail after this, but first I want to go over the armor and the ins and outs of the build and the Theorycraft behind it and everything like that. I'll try to keep this short, so yeah, if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want more content like this, and without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're going to start off with the obvious weapon that we're using. That's going to be the Serenity Greatsword artifact. Now, this is a very, very amazing weapon. In fact, I don't think I gave it enough praise in my artifact review video, so I'm going to do that here. So, it comes with a unique perk in Balance Blade. In offensive stance, we get 2% empower per attack for 5 seconds, up to 10 stacks for a 20% empower. Defensive stance, we get 2% fortify when hit for 5 seconds, up to 10 stacks as well. This is really good just for taking damage. We're going to be building a lot of fortify, which in our heavy armor loadout is going to be really impressive. A lot of tankiness. This is the unique perk, but there's also something else going on here, in that I'm pretty sure it's an illegal perk combination. We have both Trenchant Strikes and Trenchant Crits. Now, Trenchant Strikes is going to give us 23% more damage on our heavies. Also, our heavy attacks, if they crit, it's going to have 34% more critical damage. This is insane. This is an insane combination to have on a weapon. You guarantee a crit. Like, I'm in heavy armor build. I am a heavy armor build. Keep that in mind. And I'm hitting anywhere from 4.8k crits to about 7k crits is the highest that I've done. So I can't imagine this build in a medium or light armor spec. I'm sure it's actually crazy. But I love the defense from heavy armor. More of that shortly. We then have Refreshing Move. This is really good synergy with the build because we're spamming a lot of heavy and light attacks as well, which is going to reduce our cooldown, and we have cooldown reduction in one of our skills as well. So this is just a really good combination. Now, when you upgrade this artifact at the Gypsum, you'll have the option for your final perk. Now, typically on great swords, I like things like Trenchant Recovery or Kingly Jagged. Obviously, these are not allowed. So I think the best two options you're going to have is an attunement, or you can put a rune glass dot inside of it. I would put an opal rune glass with a dot on it as well, and I think either one of these is fine. I chose to go for the attunement, but do with whatever you like. Now, this is really good. I'll go over the skill tree here shortly and explain why this is awesome, but let's go ahead and jump to our weapon. Now this one I wasn't using in all of the footage because I got it just recently, but it has been a game changer. In the footage I just have like a regular keenly jagged and keen weapon. This one, the main thing I want you to focus on, ignore the shirking frost, ignore the vicious, it's the keen speed. And I would like to get a keen speed, keenly jagged, maybe refreshing move or some sort of combination of that, but this is the best weapon I could find with keen speed on the trader, so that's what I've been using. So keen speed, get 20% haste for 7 seconds on crit. I'll go over more later why this is going to be really good, but this helps us really stay on top of our opponents and goes very, very well with the sword and shield bar. Now let's get into the rest of the artifacts before we get into the skill tree. I mean, who didn't see this one coming? This is an amazing jewelry artifact. It's going to reduce your consumable heals, that being your health pot, but your incoming heals are 50% stronger. If you're with a healer, you're going to get even more heals. Your mana pot that heals you from healthy toast, that's actually going to heal you more than what your health pot is, and it has a shorter cooldown. This is an amazing artifact. We got Divine and Health. I still haven't upgraded this one as of yet. But the third perk I'm going to go with is Thrust Protection. That's going to be 15% thrust mitigation if I remember correctly. You could opt for like flame damage mitigation, whatever you want to mitigate there, just to kind of save you some space on gems. I highly recommend going with a protection perk here. Ring, best in slot, but I need to get an upgraded version, of course. We have Leeching, Hardy, and slash damage. I wouldn't change anything on this. Leeching I would say is mandatory, and it's really good for staying offensive and healing through everything. The greatsword also has a lot of built-in lifesteal, which is really good. Slash damage is going to apply to both of our weapons, that being the sword and shield and the greatsword. Earring, healthy toast is mandatory. Regenerating, in my opinion, is mandatory. Third perk is whatever you like. Refreshing toast has received a nerf, so I really wouldn't go with that one, but choose what you would like here, maybe the Heartrune one. But yeah, for my armor artifact, I am going with Freedom currently, although I would like to test the heavy chest. I'll have that here on screen. Now this is really good because that's less freedom pieces that you got to put on your build. I need to upgrade this one obviously as well. I really like this artifact. I don't really know what else I would put on this build, so I really like this one. This is going to help you prevent those hammer stun chains or just getting stun locked XV1, and yeah, I really think this is a good and underrated artifact, so highly recommend that there. But yeah, like I said, the reinforced chest would be good. As far as weapon perks on the body, you really just need Relentless Freedom. This is going to give your gap closer on the greatsword a snare removal, which has come in handy a lot actually, so highly recommend that one. And the other one you want is somewhere have Energizing Counter. When Calamity Counter is activated, immediately gain 22 stamina. This is really good, and I love the skill associated with it as well. So yeah, as far as everything, I'm not best in slot obviously, but what I would like is health on everything. I know, you know, it's not mandatory. Resilience not mandatory. It doesn't exist. It's the max health perk, but I still think max health is something you want on at least 4 out of 5 pieces. I wouldn't stress it too much though, but yeah, I like health on everything. It's going to make us a little bit tankier. I have a couple refreshing here, but that's just happened to land that way. Even with the freedom legs, I would like to have a couple pieces of freedom as well. A couple of thrust conditioning or flame conditioning. And then my jewelry's not right. As you can see, I'm not exactly rich. But I would also, since everyone's using the Abyssal Great Axe, I mean, literally, I want to say 70% of the people I run across is everyone's using the Abyssal Great Axe. I would like to actually have a Void Gem or two as well. And yeah, thrust resistances, thrust ward, flame ward, whatever you would like. Enchanted's not the worst thing, of course. So yeah, I highly recommend that. This is the shield I've been currently using. What would be best in slot is if we can drop shield defense for sturdy fortification. Sturdy fortification is this perk right here, which is very good. Sturdy fortification is going to give us a unique fortify. Well, not exactly a unique fortify, but it's going to give us fortify while we block. This does stack with the sword and shield perk that does the same thing, and I'll go into that more when we get to the tree. But I always swear by this in every build video, but accelerated resolve on the shield is just amazing. It's gotten us out of so many situations. You hit this skill, you get 50% mitigation, 33% movement speed, and we boost our heals. You do accelerated resolve into our Heartrune of choice, which is a good time to go over that, mending form, and this just the incoming healing and survivability. You can't be staggered, you got a nice hot, you got speed. It's just really good. You pop a pot. I can't say enough about it. But yeah, obviously not best of slot, but this is what's been working for me. Now let's go ahead and get into the skill tree. I'm actually going to start with the sword and shield tree. So this perk right here is what stacks with sturdy fortification. So every time we block, we get a 20% fortify. This is really good. Obviously the shield bash is the best stun in the game. You hit someone with a shield bash, you have enough time to get to their flank. I typically like to dodge behind them and then hit them with the charged heavy attack from the greatsword. So that guarantees both the trenchant strikes and the trenchant crits, which is really good. Accelerate resolve, as I mentioned, try to hit this before you get too low. You get that full 50% damage reduction. This goes with the speed from accelerate resolve, and then also you get a nice, like really nice burst heal once it ends. And this is also why I like the max health on everything, because the higher health we have, the better healing we have, and the better heal from Defender's Resolve. I love this ultimate passive. While blocking, we reduce damage to us and allies. This applies to even dot damage, so I really recommend taking this passive. You could go a little bit more aggressive, but if you go with these skills, getting this, you're gonna sacrifice the important passives in my opinion. This gap closer is amazing. You hit someone with a gap closer from this, especially if it crits, you are gonna be, it's good. It's a good way to stay on our opponents. And this is what I mean by I say we have a lot of speed and good ways to stay on our opponent, because not only that, which is gonna slow them, once we get there, especially if this crit specifically, 20% haste for 5 seconds. That's 20% haste. Now remember, our sword here has keen speed. We're gonna hit someone and actually be faster than our accelerated resolve speed. So yeah, 40% haste. I can't recommend this enough. Not the best one-hander here, but what I want you guys to understand, the focus is the keen speed. So yeah, that's gonna be the main takeaways from our sword and shield tree. Obviously a lot of mitigation. Now let's talk about the greatsword. I'd hate that this is the case, but the greatsword is actually a better defensive weapon than the sword and shield. Your block power and ability to block is actually better on your greatsword bar. Let me explain. That's because of defiance tree. This is insane. So we can actually charge our heavy attacks, which courtesy of the Serenity artifact does a lot of damage, and we're blocking while we're charging these heavy attacks. Not only that, this pairs well with our leeching on our ring because we heal for 5% of the damage from our attacks. Also, we're going to be getting 15% lifesteal depending on when we attack. I just think this is crazy. It's just a really amazing passive. I can't recommend it enough. I love the Calamity counter ability. It has a bleed. You really want to time this correctly, especially when you're surrounded. The more hits that you can bait from your opponent, the better the effect. Getting that 3 block knockback is so good, and then putting that bleed on them, I can't recommend it enough. And then you can heal for the damage. Speaking of bleeds, we have another bleed on this skill. And the steadfast strike, it also reduces our cooldown by 20%. So really keep that in mind. This has deceptively long range. If you aim this right, you can pull an opponent back from a large distance and get a nice stagger. The perk for this weapon isn't that great, so that's why I don't recommend going out your way to get it. It is a debuff timer reducer, but it's not really that great. Another important thing is the charged heavy attack bleeds. Now this bleed is not great damage, but any damage that you do is good for building up your Heartrune. So the more dots you can stack, the better. So don't sleep on this, it's really good. Now we are taking one onslaught tree skill. Remember, in onslaught stance, our damage taken is gonna be higher, 15% more. So you don't really want to stay in onslaught stance too long, depending on the situation and how much damage you anticipate you're about to take. So outnumbered, I'll do onslaught stance into a couple of heavies. I see I'm about to take damage, I'll go ahead and bar swap to get out of onslaught stance, or use a defensive skill, that being from the defiance tree. This is really good. Like I mentioned, this is going to be our snare removal courtesy of our weapon perk, and yeah, it gets us an onslaught stance, gives us an end power. And once we use this, we are going to get a 15% heal from the damage. So yeah, I recommend this. Obviously, the greatsword passes are amazing. We got more empower here. We land a crit, we're going to get 5% base health back per 5 seconds with a 5-second cooldown. It's just an amazing weapon, and charging heavies and being able to block is just so freaking cool. We go into our defensive stance, like just charging heavies, especially against melee users. This is just really amazing. There's really not much you can do about it on most specs. But yeah, that's going to be the basis of the build. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll probably do a follow-up once I get my best in slot gear. Like, I want a better one-hander, obviously, and I need to upgrade my freedom artifact as well as my ink artifact, and get some fresh jewelry here. So that will be all for me. Here's my perks as current. Wouldn't say all these are best in slot yet, but yeah, a couple of freedom, couple of max health, and whatever physical aversion or thrust condition and flame condition and maybe void condition if that's what you're worried about. All these work, so highly recommended. And as far as attributes, I don't have my food on right now, so I can't show you, but in a perfect world, once I get my 700 gear score, I would like 200 con, 200 dex, 200 strength. I think this is going to give us the best bang for our buck with the greatsword damage and our benchmarks. I kind of want to experiment with 250 and 150 dex, but I really think I'm just going to do 200 strength, 200 dex, 200 con, and keep it simple. Currently, I'm doing about 215 con, 215 strength, and I dump the rest in dex just because I don't have the gear score to get it perfect how I want. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the upcoming footage, and yeah, that's going to be it. Peace. It's all right. Maybe we focus out the bow guy again. Actually, this guy was decent. Got him. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm 1v2 again. Uh-oh. Got him.
Fuck.
Oh, 6,400 heavy. Oh my gosh. Good heal. Oh! Oh! Oh, dang. Good dodge. Oh! 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 Oh, I couldn't hit him. Oh my gosh. Good job. Fall back a little bit. Yeah, they're falling out more. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm done. That scorpion pool did it. That scorpion pool did it. I lost all hope. Let's clip that. Not the tea bag. That's how I like to end it right there. Get him. Let's go. Oh, I'm fast, buddy. You don't make it away. This is the guy that teabagged me. I'm in the zone right now, chat. Don't mind me.